Hey guys, Benji here with the question of the week, and let's jump right in. This week's question is, who are your heroes? So I think, at least how I'm thinking about this question, it probably changes throughout your life, right? So my guess is that, if I think about as a kid growing up, who were my heroes or what were my heroes like? It's going to be sports guys, right? I didn't have, there wasn't any, moral leader or anybody like that. So it was simply going to be Ricky Henderson, Ken Griffey Jr., Barry Bonds, Vince Coleman, all those guys that I loved all those years and collected their baseball cards and had their posters on my wall and, on and on and on. And then I think as you get older, as you move into high school, no, probably not high school, probably college and later, they might turn to more. There's still going to be sports heroes in there, but I think you're probably turning more to maybe some business leaders and people that make a lot of money that way. Less because the sports guys are still in there because they still make a lot of money, but I think the business leaders jump in there because you turn your attention, right? I mean, you just kind of change a little bit, especially as you get into your 30s. You're like, man, now most of these athletes that are used to be my heroes, they're now younger than me, and I think it's hard to have a hero that's younger than you. A lot of times, somebody have to be really, really smart, and so I think that changes. I think you turn into maybe the Warren Buffetts and the Mark Cubans and those kind of people that you think, hey, that's good. As you get older, maybe into your 40s, I probably looked more to people that I knew as my heroes, right? Like, my dad would be a hero. People that are kind and do the right thing. I think those more become heroes. People that you think like, man, that guy's a really good person and a good dad, and makes a lot of good decisions. I think that makes for a hero. And then now that I'm in my early 50s, 51, I probably think heroes is going to be more like thought leaders. More people. Boy, it's hard to now that I'm sitting here, I can't think of their names. Let me look them up. Um, let's see. I know this probably doesn't make for a very good video here, but man, what is his name? There's Sam. Oh, Sam Harris, Richard Dawkins, even Neil Tice deGrasse, Carl Sagan. I'm probably my heroes now are like really, really intelligent people. Beforehand, it was probably more the right. So here's how I'm thinking of my progression: is people that were amazing at sports and sports that I liked. And so you're like, oh man, I love Ricky Henderson and great players, Greg Maddux and Tony Gwynn and all these guys. And then you move into okay, maybe there's some business leaders, right? Maybe there's the Mark Cubans and the Warren Buffetts and all those things. And then as maybe you get older, you think, not that I don't think Mark Cuban's really smart, and not that I don't think Warren Buffett's really smart, but maybe not to the extent. Maybe they were, and I think mostly they would explain this. They were right time, right place, right person, for a thing in time. Warren Buffett being early to the really research things, really figure it out, buy it, hold it, live off dividends. And now, is Warren Buffett the greatest investor ever? Probably most would say no, but is he incredible? Yeah. And does he have incredible returns now? For sure. But is a lot of that because of the size of his investment now? Yeah, yeah. There's definitely people that are making more per year every year. And so then as I get to my age now, I think, well, now I really want to get. I really am impressed with people that are really, really smart. People that talk about philosophy, religion, why we're here, Could be business, could be somebody that's really, really smart on business, but probably more kind of thought leaders that are just, yeah. I mean, I saw a video not long ago that had like Christopher Hitchens, who's one of my favorite. He's now deceased, but Richard Dawkins, Sam Harris, and there's another guy, and they were sitting around a round table and talking, and I just remember going, "Oh man, like the internet is great for that, right? For the ability to be able, 50 years ago, it'd be hard to ever be in a room with those four people and listen to them talk back and forth and discuss ideas. Now with the internet and YouTube and podcasts, I mean, you get to see it all the time, and that part is amazing about the internet, to be able to say, you can just sit around and listen to some of the brightest people. You can listen to Carl Sagan's old interviews and just go, I mean, what an incredible mind. What an incredible person that they were able to really step back, not just have long held beliefs that I don't care what you say, I don't care about any new evidence, this is what I believe. To me, those are the most ignorant of all people. And the most brilliant people, the most intelligent people, I think, that I listen to or see are the ones that are like, I never thought about it that way. I might change my view right now. I might change how I think about X religion or X philosophy, an idea, or just some big arcing idea in life, and they get new evidence and they make a change and go, wow, I never thought about it that way. That's a good point. Maybe I've been thinking about this wrong. So those kind of people. So when the question is, who are your heroes? If I just answered it today, it'd be thought leaders, people that are really, really smart that I follow and read their stuff. Christopher Hitchens, I've read some of his books. One that I always love to tell people to read, which most people don't because they hate it. They don't want to be seen buying the book, but it's like God is Not Great, and it's interesting where you can almost make God be the villain in this whole thing. But those kind of people, I really think I don't have any sports heroes. I don't think anymore. I mean, I have people that I think, man, that guy's amazing, but I don't idolize him. I don't look up to him. I don't ever look at, my last ones would probably be the Kobe's and the LeBrons, which LeBron is still playing today. The Tiger Woods, which how the mighty have fallen, doesn't look so heroic after, countless, drunk driving or under some sort of influence while driving, and just making bad decisions. And just doesn't look right. I mean, in 2005 or 2010, you might have looked at Jack and Tiger and been like, man, those guys are the best. You can make a case for Tiger. Now, if you're looking for a hero, boy, Jack sure seems like the guy that you would want to emulate, to be like, not only did Tiger never get that close, right? I mean, 3 majors is still a Hall of Fame career that he's away from Jack, not to mention the second places of all those majors. And now that Jack has this like incredible family life, incredible wife with Barbara, and he's just seems like a stand-up guy, right? He's not even, I think he's a great guy, and I disagree with anything he's ever said publicly about like politics and things like that. But I can still look at him and go, I don't agree with him on everything, but I think that guy has lived an incredible life. He was the best golfer to ever play the game, ever, probably. And has an incredible family, friends, business, everything about him. Great. Tiger, I probably couldn't say that about. But all those kind of people, that's something in the past. I don't look at anybody now like Cooper Flagg or Wemby and think, oh, that's my hero. No, I think, oh man, that kid's good. And that's neat. But I look at it now as, that's basketball. That's baseball. That's, it's a game. It's fine. But, so that changes over time. So, so that's kind of my idea of your heroes. I think they will change it, and maybe they'll change even further. I don't see them changing further. I would think maybe as I retire, and as I, one of my things as I retire that I hope to do a lot more is to read. And maybe as I read, some of my heroes might be these people that are dead and gone, right? Maybe it becomes that I read some Marcus Aurelius, things, or some Plato or some Aristotle, and some dead authors and poets, and go, those people were incredible. And maybe that becomes more of it, but I don't know. But it's still going to be, those are still just thought leaders from another time, another generation. But so that's kind of where I think it is. I think I morphed from sports to some business leaders to thought leaders, because your life changes when you're younger. You kind of think sports is everything, especially as a young boy that played sports. And then as you start getting into your job and you're trying to make money and make a living, you think more about business, and you think, oh, those business leaders are incredible. I think I will still always think about the good people in life that I know, that I think that guy is I don't know about hero of mine, because as you get older, right, when you're 30 and you see a 50 or 55-year-old man, you think that guy is my elder, and he could maybe be a hero, maybe. As you're 50 and you see people, and people that are really smart and really good and successful, everything about them, you're like, man, that guy has a lot of his life together. I still wouldn't look at them as a hero. I wouldn't even be like envious. I mean, maybe, right? I could be envious of my buddy Bruce, but there's no, because you know them, you see them for who they are, and you think, he's got his flaws, I've got my flaws. This guy's got his, this lady has hers. You see people more as flawed humans. They have a few things figured out, but there's not many of us, like I'm one of them, not many people that are not flawed. But my heroes tend to be more the overly intelligent people, and people that talk about ideas that I think are just really smart, and that I think are really interesting, and they think about things that I haven't thought about before. And because you can only argue so long, and I can do it a long time, but you can only argue so long about, is MJ, Bill Russell, or LeBron the greatest basketball player of all time, right? There's an endless debate there, but after a while you're like, what if we actually talked about something a little bit deeper? So, all right, there's my answer for who are your heroes. So we'll see you guys later.